Ladies and gentlemen, today we're going to be talking about how do you get knuckle dusters, or brass knuckles. Oh my god, I have spent countless hours underwater grabbing chests, hundreds of items. I have scoured the web trying to find out if there's a special location, like a cool little chest or mission that you could do for some good old fisticuffs. Nothing. Pain, suffering, all the 9 yards. Anyways, there might be something that I could find in the future if there's more information that comes out, but there is one for surefire way to get knuckle dusters, aka brass knuckles. Unfortunately, it is the vendors. Now, there's some good news. Bad news is that it might cost you a little bit. The good news is that it does seem like you can instantly reset the game by going out and joining back in. Of course, when it comes to vendors, I mean resetting vendors. But that is the only surefire method that I've found to get knuckle dusters. Now, I would also like to go into a little more detail about something. I think it only spawns... Well, I think it's a higher likelihood to spawn in the central loop, the central survivor base. This one right here. This one has always given me, like, on the third reset, knuckle dusters, where some of the other ones keep giving me, like, purples, or they have kind of a variety of items that they can kind of give you, whereas this old kook is real good when it comes to giving you brass knuckles, which is lovely. Not only that, but she also can give you purple brass knuckles, and I do think partially this could be tied to your world level, like your world tier. But I also have gotten like knuckle dusters at level 3, so world tier 3. They were legendaries, they were brass knuckle types, not sharp kind of claws. But knuckle dusters are ungodly good, but they are also nerfed in a way because they can only have certain mods. And I very much think that a lot of endgame is leveling up your mods so that it doesn't even matter if your weapon does any damage, because it's just a stat stick to activate the insane damage that comes from mods. We'll talk about that in a whole nother video. But yes, that is the unfortunate best answer I can give you to getting the knuckle dusters, is through the merchants. Specifically the one near New Dawn Park / the central loop, the exact central loop center. Yeah, go to the vendor, go check her gear, exit the game, join back into the game. You don't have to completely shut down the game, just go to the menu, join back in, you'll spawn somewhere, head back, and you'll be good to go. Do that until you find the knuckle dusters. Now, because you are having to spend money in the vendor shop, I would suggest greatly that you make sure you're going to get an absolute banger of a deal. Make sure you're getting really good stat rolls. Some amazing stats just to get really good on the knuckle dusters is damage. Meter damage is what it's called, or it's like stance meter damage, something. But basically, it's the idea that enemies have a stamina bar. When you hit them with it, you're going to damage that stamina bar, so they're not dodging away from you constantly, nor blocking all the time. Also, I will say, ladies and gentlemen, if you can get blunt brass knuckles, get them. Even if they're not legendary, even if they're one level below, blunt damage is king against the most frustrating enemy type, which is humans, in the game, because it breaks their stance, it breaks their block. Whereas sharp does a little more damage, but it does not break a block at all. You'll just get deflected, whereas blunt can really dig in and break through somebody's block. Very, very good for human enemies, and also good for zombies. Anyways, also it sounds so much better, like thunk, rather than like anyway. But yes, reset the vendors as many times as you can to get a very, very good stat roll. Again, I've looked at all of the legendary chests, I've looked everywhere, and for whatever reason, these things don't spawn. I don't know if it's a bug, or if it's kind of an ability in the game where it's like, no, this item is really, really good and special, kind of like a unique, but it also is very, very sought after and rare. I don't know. I hope that there's like something that they give us, the ability to get cool brass knuckle dusters. And who knows, maybe it's just my game that's a little bugged. Maybe your game is just clean sailing, smooth sailing. You get knuckle dusters more than you get bats. I don't think that's the case. It seems like everybody's on the hunt for knuckle dusters. But yes, this is what I would suggest for the vendors. Now, then there's one more question. Sorry, I should have mentioned this earlier. Do you run around and get all of the vendors, or do you only use the central loop one? I only use the central loop one because in my experience, she just has such a high concurrent rate of getting knuckle dusters. The other ones kind of seem like they have weird axes and other variants, where she seems like she specializes in bows and knuckle dusters. But, ladies and gentlemen, if any of you know any sort of tip, hint, or anything in between about how to get knuckle dusters besides the cyberpunk ones, please, please, please let me know, because by far my favorite weapon type, even though they can't handle as many mods. And by the way, if you are going to slap a mod on them, I would highly suggest either the funness of impact, because it will just send people flying, and also does a great amount of burst damage if you level it up enough, and of course chain Chain Lightning. Chain Lightning is probably the best one because it just has too much utility. It does a lot of damage, stuns enemies, also chains to different enemies as well, just 10xing your damage. Anyways, it's too good. But ladies and gentlemen, that is how you get Knuckle Dusters. Farm merchants, specifically the one in the central loop. She always has bows and a lot of times Knuckle Dusters as well. But thank you so much for your time. Hopefully you guys do enjoy the rest of your day. And please, 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 if you find any sort of information or data about how to get these damn Knuckle Dusters, brass knuckles, etc., let your boy know. Thank you kindly. Hopefully you'll stick around for some more Dying Light 2 content. And if not, it's been amazing and fun. And hopefully I can see you again someday. Bye-bye. Also, we stream a lot. I always forget to mention it.